Chamber gonna be buffed next patch. Nice. I think that the okay. I don't like Chamber. I really don't like him, and I think the way he plays is very annoying. But I do think with the new TP change that they did, instead of two pylons, it's one, and you teleport to that one singular pylon, there's actually counterplay to the character now. And so for that reason, I think they can make his TP radius a little bit larger. A little bit larger. I think you can't be creative and do anything on any map because of like his TPs. Like they're actually way too short. They should have added that 10 meters, not for his trip, but for his TP range. Like actually. And I don't really like that character, but I just think because like before the fucked up thing about Chamber was okay, so you're playing against a I'll explain it better if I'm like visualizing it with pictures and shit. Also, what should I eat for breakfast? I might just get like Starbucks or something. Something generic, I guess. I'll do bind attack for or bind defense, for example, because Ye played it basically perfect. The fucked up thing was with Chamber with the two pylon thing. So you had a pylon here and you had a pylon in sight, right? And then the Chamber would sit on this side. The Sky could dog, right? And then you break the dog. But if you don't feel like you're pressured that you're gonna die, they have to use even more util for you. Like then they throw a raise nade. It's like, okay, then you TP, and now you're out. But you could, you know what the crazy thing is? You break that dog, and then if you don't feel like you're gonna die, you don't need a TP. If you see that nade coming, you just peek into the nade, try to get one kill, and then you TP away and maybe get one kill. Like Ye actually had a master class for this when like he was playing Chamber. He was like the Chamber super soldier. But also, yeah, another thing. So I'm holding this angle, right? And I see the Chamber get to here, and I try to flush him out with util. Once again, Chamber only has a TP away when he felt like he was pressured and he was gonna die, and that shit's like instantaneous. Like I shit you not, it's instantaneous to TP. So you wouldn't hear it from this pylon where he TP'd. You would hear it from this pylon. So if you were out of radius of the second pylon, the location that he's TPing to, you wouldn't hear him TP away. So you didn't know if he TP'd or not. This is like literally why the character was so fucking oppressive. It's because you wouldn't know. You would throw util, he'd break the fucking util. Unless you felt like he was gonna die, then you TP away. But then again, if you weren't actually peeking the angle and see him TP away or close enough to hit the TP, then he could be staying. And that was like the messed up part. Now, if they slightly increase the TP radius, let's say you could put it mid-sight, for example. You make it like slightly larger. Maybe I don't know what would be like a good suitable thing for it, because I actually don't think he's gonna be used in pro at all still. I know that Loud ran the comp with Chamber on binds, but I still think as a character, he doesn't bring the Sentinel value. I think his Sentinel value is just fucked because he's restricted by his TPs at the same time as he's restricted by his trips. If they actually want to give him a normal Sentinel approach, I think, well, increasing the trip radius, what they did already is good. It's just like the one pylon system, it feels like it's really bad sometimes. I feel like there's like a lot of counterplay to it, right? Like if you're peeking showers, you put this TP, right? And you're peeking here. If they're splitting you and they like either have a raise or some shit, like they just scale up to front truck, you're just kind of like exposed, right? Before you TP here and you just get back to heaven. So now he has a vulnerability for once. He should have two trips again. Two trips would not be bad. With current setup, two trips would actually be okay, I think. Because I think his trips are kind of bad, in a way. Like, for example, like on a sense, if you had a Chamber and we're playing attack side, like what can the Chamber trip? Well, he's gonna be like, what's the radius? The radius is like, I think the radius is like that. It's kind of like that. It's not obviously not going to aim in. I kind of can't draw a perfect circle, but you would trip like that, and then what else would you trip? Like your other trip can't reach here with your radius. Maybe you could like walk up mid and trip mid. I don't fucking know. Like even with two trips, because of the range limiting, it's kind of hard like on the attack side compared to like what Killjoy does. When Killjoy has a turret like this, he wants being held. This shit's all being held with just one piece of the util. And this is like a deep, deep line too.